Most men over 60 believe women notice the obvious: your appearance, your clothes, maybe your posture. But here's the truth. Before you even say a word, she's already reading something far deeper. She's sensing your energy. You can look fine on the outside, hair combed, shirt pressed, but if your energy is low, if your presence feels faded, she feels it instantly. It's in the way you walk into the room. It's in how quickly you respond when she speaks. It's in whether your eyes are alive and engaged, or tired and distant. Now picture the opposite. A man who doesn't look 20, but moves with steady strength, greets her with warmth, listens with focus, and carries himself like he's ready for the day. That kind of energy? It lights up a room. It draws people in. And it makes her feel seen, valued, and connected to you. Today, I'm going to pull back the curtain and share the signals women notice most about a man's vitality, the ones they rarely say out loud, and I'll show you how to rebuild them, starting right now. I'm Dr. Katherine Rocker. For more than 30 years, I've worked side by side with men in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s, men who wanted more than just a good checkup. They wanted to feel alive again. And I'll tell you something many men never hear directly: the women in their lives notice far more than they let on. They notice when your energy dips. They notice when you move a little slower, respond a little later, or seem distracted. They notice when your presence in the room feels different, even if you think you're hiding it well. I've had wives, partners, and daughters quietly tell me, "He's still here, but he's not really here." It's not just about intimacy, it's about connection, about feeling like you're in sync, about knowing the man they love is fully present. The good news? Energy isn't lost forever. It can be rebuilt. Your body, yes, even now, still knows how to respond. But it needs the right fuel, the right habits, and the right mindset to make that shift. That's what I'm going to walk you through today. Not a magic pill. Not a quick, fake burst of energy. But a plan to restore the kind of steady, authentic vitality that women notice, value, and deeply appreciate. When I ask men how they judge their own vitality, I usually hear things like, "I can still lift heavy, I'm still doing my yard work," or "I don't get sick much." Men often measure themselves by strength, endurance, or physical performance. And while those are important, they're not the whole picture. Here's what women tell me privately. They're not just watching how much weight you can lift or whether you can fix the fence. They're reading your energy in dozens of subtle ways, ways you might not even realize you're communicating. It's in your posture: are you upright and open, or slouched and closed off? It's in your voice tone: does it sound alive, or does it drag? It's in your attention: do you make eye contact and respond, or do you zone out mid-conversation? It's even in your pace, how you walk, how you move through the day. To a woman, energy is not just physical. It's a combination of physical stamina: can you keep up, move steadily, stay active without fading? Emotional presence: are you engaged, listening, and showing interest? Mental sharpness: are you quick to respond, remembering details, bringing humor or insight into the moment? The gap is this: most men believe as long as they can do the job physically, they're fine. But women feel the difference long before physical ability fades. They feel it in your presence, your focus, and the spark in your interactions. And when that spark starts to dim, they don't always say it out loud, but they miss it. The good news? That spark can come back. And the first step is recognizing the signs that it's faded, just like Leonard did in the story I'm about to share. Leonard was 70 when he came to see me. Tall, broad-shouldered, the kind of man who'd spent a lifetime working with his hands. On paper, he was doing fine. Blood pressure under control, cholesterol steady, no major illnesses. When I asked how things were at home, he gave me a half smile. We're good. Grace and I have been married 46 years. We still talk, still watch our shows together. But when I spoke to Grace later, because yes, I talk to both partners when I can, her answer was different. He's here, but he's not here, she said softly. He sits in his chair and listens, but sometimes I feel like I'm talking to an empty room. It's not that he doesn't care. It's that his energy, it's like it's somewhere else. Grace wasn't talking about intimacy in the bedroom, though that had slowed, too. She meant the everyday intimacy, how Leonard used to walk in the door with a smile, how he'd lean in to hear her stories, how he'd remember little details and bring them up later. Over the years, Leonard had slipped into a pattern of just getting through the day. He moved slower. He answered with fewer words. His eyes didn't light up as quickly. When I shared Grace's words with him, he sat quiet for a long time. I thought as long as I was still getting things done, we were fine, he admitted. I didn't realize she felt that change, I guess. I felt it too, but I didn't know what to do about it. That conversation was Leonard's turning point. He finally understood that energy isn't just about physical capability, it's about the signals you send every moment you're together. And that's when I explained to him the energy equation, the 3 elements women notice most, and how each one can be rebuilt. When I sat down with Leonard after that conversation with Grace, I told him something most men never hear clearly. A woman's experience of your energy comes from 3 connected signals, and when even one of them fades, she feels the difference immediately. 1. Physical stamina. This is the most visible, but not always the most obvious. It's not about running marathons, it's about how you move through the day. Do you get up from a chair easily? Can you keep pace on a walk without slowing down? Do you still carry yourself with the same upright posture? To her, steady, confident movement says, I'm strong, I'm capable, I'm here with you. Sluggish movement says the opposite, even if you don't mean it to. 2. Emotional presence. This is where most men underestimate the impact. It's about the way you look at her when she's speaking. It's about whether you follow her train of thought, whether you respond in a way that shows you're not just hearing her, you're listening. When your mind drifts or your attention fades, she feels it as disconnection, even if your body is sitting right next to her. 3. Mental sharpness. Quick thinking, remembering small details, bringing humor or insight into a conversation. These are the little sparks that make her feel truly connected to you. When mental sharpness starts to dull, conversations feel flatter, and the sense of being in sync starts to slip away. I explained to Leonard that these 3 parts of the energy equation are powered by the same internal systems: healthy blood flow to the brain and muscles, balanced testosterone for stamina and focus, stable blood sugar and low cortisol for steady mood and attention. If those systems aren't supported daily, the energy she fell in love with begins to fade, not because you've stopped caring, but because your body isn't getting what it needs to project vitality. The good news? You can strengthen all 3 parts at the same time by removing the energy killers that are working against you. When I started walking Leonard through the habits that quietly drain a man's energy, I saw the recognition on his face, because he was doing several of them without realizing the cost. 1. Skipping meals or eating the wrong foods. Going too long without eating or relying on processed, nutrient-poor foods leads to unstable blood sugar. That crash you feel mid-afternoon? It's not just tiredness, it's your brain and muscles running low on fuel, making you move slower, think slower, and respond slower. 2. Poor sleep hygiene. Going to bed at random times, falling asleep in front of the TV, or waking up several times a night keeps your body from entering deep, restorative sleep. That's when testosterone is rebuilt, your brain clears waste, and your muscles recover. Without it, you wake up in the red, and no amount of coffee can fully fix it. 3. Chronic stress and high cortisol. Staying in a state of constant tension keeps cortisol elevated. High cortisol blocks testosterone production, tightens blood vessels, reducing circulation, and leaves you feeling edgy or flat. Over time, it chips away at both stamina and presence. 4. Sedentary lifestyle. Long periods of sitting reduce blood flow to the legs, pelvis, and brain. This isn't just about exercise, it's about movement throughout the day to keep oxygen and nutrients circulating. 5. Over-reliance on caffeine. A cup or two of coffee is fine, but using caffeine as your main energy source is like slapping a fresh coat of paint on a rusting bridge. It looks good for a while, but the underlying structure is still wearing down. I told Leonard, these aren't just bad habits, they're energy thieves. They steal from all three parts of the energy equation: physical stamina, emotional presence, and mental sharpness. The solution isn't to cut everything at once. It's to start replacing the thieves with habits that build energy from the inside out, what I call the energy rebuild plan. I told Leonard, if you want your wife to feel the same spark she felt years ago, you don't need a miracle, you need a method. That method is built on 3 pillars. They work together, and when you commit to them daily, they rebuild all 3 parts of the energy equation: physical stamina, emotional presence, and mental sharpness. Pillar 1. Fuel. Your body's energy is only as good as the materials you give it. This means balanced meals with protein, healthy fats, and fiber to keep blood sugar steady. Foods rich in magnesium, zinc, and B vitamins to support testosterone and nerve function. Staying hydrated to keep blood volume high and circulation strong. For Leonard, this meant swapping his pastry and coffee mornings for 2 eggs, half an avocado, and a handful of berries. Within a week, his afternoon crashes began to fade. Pillar 2. Flow. Energy is movement, and movement creates energy. Daily activity increases nitric oxide, improves circulation, and keeps muscles oxygenated. This doesn't mean hours in the gym, it means a brisk 10-minute walk after breakfast. Standing and stretching every hour. Light resistance training 2 to 3 times a week. Leonard started with morning walks around his block. By the second week, his posture was straighter and his steps quicker. Pillar 3. Focused. Your mind and emotions drive the quality of your presence. To rebuild this, reduce chronic stress with deep breathing or meditation. Protect your sleep window so hormones can reset. Practice active listening in conversations to stay mentally engaged. For Leonard, just 5 minutes of slow breathing before bed improved his sleep quality, and his wife noticed he was more engaged at the breakfast table. When you combine fuel, flow, and focus, you're not just getting through the day, you're showing up as the man who is strong, alert, and fully present. And to make this work for you, the plan has to fit your current lifestyle, not fight it. That's where personalization comes in. One of the biggest reasons men fail to rebuild their energy is that they try to copy someone else's routine. The truth is, your energy plan has to fit you, your body, your schedule, and your current habits. Here's how I help men tailor the 3 pillars so they stick for the long haul. If you're low activity, if most of your day is spent sitting, whether it's driving, working at a desk, or relaxing in a chair, your muscles and circulation need more frequent, wake up, signals. Start with micro movements. Stand up every 45 minutes, stretch, roll your shoulders, walk to the other side of the room. Add a 5-minute morning walk before breakfast to prime circulation for the day. Consider light bodyweight exercises like wall push-ups or chair squats once or twice a day. If you're under high stress, when cortisol stays high, energy stays low, no matter how well you eat or exercise. Practice deep breathing. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, for 3 minutes whenever you feel tense. Replace one afternoon coffee with herbal tea like chamomile or rooibos to avoid evening jitters. Add stress-buffering foods like oats, chia seeds, pumpkin seeds, or berries to your breakfast. If you have poor sleep, without deep, consistent sleep, your body can't rebuild testosterone or restore full mental sharpness. Keep a consistent bedtime, even on weekends. Avoid screens for 30 minutes before sleep to let melatonin rise naturally. Add a magnesium-rich snack in the evening, such as a banana with almond butter or a small handful of walnuts, to relax muscles and nerves. The goal isn't to overhaul your life overnight. It's to choose 1 to 2 targeted changes that address your biggest energy drain right now. When you make those changes part of your daily rhythm, you'll notice results quickly, often in as little as a week. And that's exactly what we'll map out in your July 14th 30-day transformation. One of the best parts about rebuilding your energy after 60 is that you don't have to wait months to see results. Your body, yes, even now, still responds quickly when you give it the right fuel, movement, and recovery. Here's what most men notice when they follow the plan with consistency. Day 7, the first shift within the first week, the fog begins to lift. Morning energy feels steadier instead of sluggish. That mid-afternoon crash? Less intense or gone altogether. You may catch yourself standing taller or walking with more purpose. Your partner might comment that you seem more awake, or more yourself. Day 14, the connection kick. By the 2-week mark, the changes become more visible and felt by both you and those around you. Stamina improves, you keep up on walks or errands without feeling winded. Mental sharpness returns, you respond quicker in conversations and remember more details. Emotional presence increases, you stay engaged instead of zoning out. Partners often say, "I feel like we're in sync again." Day 30, the confidence returned after a month, the transformation is undeniable. Your physical stamina, emotional presence, and mental sharpness are working together again. You move through your day with a sense of control and readiness. In both public and private moments, you project the kind of energy that draws your partner closer. You may even feel a renewed interest in activities, intimate or otherwise, that you'd been avoiding. The point is simple: small, consistent actions compound quickly. And when you see results this fast, it fuels your motivation to keep going, which is why the next step is understanding the deeper reason this matters, beyond just feeling good. When we talk about energy, it's easy to think only in terms of what you feel, how much you can get done, how sharp you are, how steady your stamina is. But the truth is, your energy doesn't just belong to you. It's something the people around you experience every day. Your partner feels it when you walk into the room. Your friends notice it in the way you listen or join in a conversation. Your family senses it in how engaged you are in the moments that matter. For women especially, your energy is a signal. It says, "I'm here, I'm present, I'm connected to you," or, when it's low, it quietly says the opposite, even if you don't mean it to. This is why rebuilding energy after 60 isn't about trying to be 30 again. It's about showing up fully for the people who matter most. It's about protecting your role as a partner, a leader, a source of strength and stability. When Leonard rebuilt his energy, Grace didn't just say, "You seem healthier." She said, "It feels like we're us again." That's the deeper message: restoring energy restores connection. And to make this real for you, I want to share a few voices from men who've made the shift, and the women who noticed. Hearing it from me is one thing, but hearing it from men who've made the change, and the women who felt the difference, can be the spark that pushes you to take your first step. Leonard, 70, Florida. "I thought Grace just wanted me to rest more. I didn't realize she missed my presence. After a month of making the changes Dr. Rocker suggested, I'm not just less tired, I'm more engaged." We laugh more, we talk more, and she looks at me the way she used to. Grace, 68, Florida. It wasn't that he stopped loving me, it was that his energy was quiet. Now, it's like he's tuned back in. He listens, he teases me again, he wants to go places. I feel like I got my husband back. Harvey, 72, Ohio. My wife never said, "You need more energy." But after 2 weeks on the plan, she told me, "You're lighter, more fun to be around." That meant more to me than anything else. These stories aren't rare, they're what happens when you give your body the tools it's been missing. The men you've just heard from aren't chasing youth. They're showing up fully in the life they already have. And now, it's your turn to make that decision. Rebuilding your energy is a personal choice, but it's a lot easier when you know you're not doing it alone. Across the country, there's a growing brotherhood of men over 60 who've decided they're not going to coast through the years ahead. They're taking control of their mornings, their movement, their mindset, and their partners can feel the difference. I want to invite you to join them. Here's how. Drop the word energy 60 in the comments. That's your handshake into this brotherhood. It's a public promise, not just to me, but to yourself, that you're ready to take the first step toward more stamina, sharper focus, and stronger presence. When you type it, you're saying, "I'm still here. I'm still in the game. I'm ready to show up." And just like Leonard, Harvey, and the others, you'll have a community of men walking the same path, each one proving that energy after 60 isn't just possible, it's powerful. You are not past your prime. You are not a man whose best days are behind him. You are a man with years of experience, wisdom, and value, and with the right choices, you can have the energy to match. Every day you wake up, you're faced with two options. Coast through the hours, letting fatigue and distraction slowly chip away at your presence. Or take deliberate steps to fuel your body, sharpen your mind, and connect more deeply with the people who matter most. Energy isn't something you're given, it's something you create. And it's never too late to start building it again. So here's my challenge. Tomorrow morning, do one thing to boost your fuel, your flow, or your focus. Make it intentional. And notice how it changes the way you move through the day, and how others respond to you. Because when you choose to show up fully, you don't just change your day, you change the way the people you love experience you. The spark is still there. Now it's time to turn it back on.